Today, we're going to be talking about social media and how becoming a social media influencer might actually do you more harm than good. Hi, I'm Lillian Pearson, and I'm a business coach to tech entrepreneurs and aspiring tech entrepreneurs. Okay, so one of my cameras is down, but that's fine. Let's get on to the topic. We are talking about social media and how becoming a social media influencer might actually do you more harm than good. I am Lillian Pearson, and I am a business coach to tech entrepreneurs and aspiring tech entrepreneurs. So let's talk about social media here for a second. I see a lot of people on social media spending a lot of time and energy, and I understand why. I myself have 650,000 followers, and that's because I spent a lot of time and energy on it myself. So I think the natural inclination for going on social media for a lot of people, at least for me, it was to boost visibility, because increased visibility generally means greater level of opportunities. So if you're looking for a job, you can demonstrate your expertise through social media, and maybe you can even get sponsored if you grow your account big enough. So yeah, I get it why people want to be social media influencers and grow those big accounts. Also, of course, there's the side benefit of street cred. So I guess the more popular you are on social media, then people might think you're cool, or, something like that. So, that's also got some appeal, and I understand it all. But let's talk about the negative aspects of social media and becoming an influencer. The biggest thing here is your time. Social media takes a huge amount of time. If you're an influencer already, then the content creation and then the engagement and then growing your channels is a huge investment of your time. And a lot of social media influencers have been growing their accounts for many, many years. Okay, so just case in point, we have a new VA in my business that's helping with managing our channels. And then, like I said, we have 650,000 followers over 4 channels. So it's actually taking her 20 hours a week to manage, to manage the channels. And if you are a tech entrepreneur, so in my case, we have scaled the business to the point that I can hire someone to help me with that. But when I was newer, I did all of that myself, right? So if you're a new tech entrepreneur or an aspiring tech entrepreneur, I always encourage my clients that they cannot accept less than $150 an hour, but $300 an hour for someone with really solid experience in programming, data science, and a STEM degree and all that. $300 an hour should be a minimum, right? So if you're thinking, I just threw out a number here of 25 hours a week or 20 hours a week. If you think about like $150 an hour to $300 an hour, that's a lot of money that is being wasted on social media, right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing if you have a strategy. Okay, yeah, it is a bad thing. So I'm going to pull that back. That is a bad thing. But spending a lot of time on social media makes sense if you have a strategy behind it. So if you know who you're actually targeting, like who is your dream client and what is your offer, and you've clarified all of that, and you know exactly why you're there, then it makes sense to just invest in these platforms and build these relationships. But if you just start building a huge audience and hope that later you can figure out something to sell them, it might end up that you either build a low quality audience. And when I say that, I mean an audience of people that isn't actually interested in what you end up selling them or wanting to sell them or wanting to produce in your business, or B, just build, or the other alternative is that you build up an audience of people that aren't actually able to pay. So when you are targeting your dream client and figuring out who you want to sell your offer to, it's got to be someone who needs what you have to sell, and it's also got to be someone who's able to pay for it, right? And so all of those things have to be hashed out and nailed down before you even start building a social media strategy on how to actually gain them as clients in your business. So the reason that becoming a social media influencer could actually end up doing you more harm than good is that you could actually spend years building up an audience of people that aren't actually relevant to what you end up offering in your business. And those years could equate to hundreds of thousands of dollars of lost earnings. Okay, so social media, your work on social media could end up putting you out of business before you even get into business. So this is really, really important stuff. And, I grew my audience, before I had offers in place, and it worked out okay, but it doesn't work out. There's many, many, many bloggers out there that have day jobs and are never gonna, be able to actually build a thriving business. So I want to give you a solution here. The solution for this thing is, if you already have a following, that's amazing. That's awesome. Most tech entrepreneurs or tech social influencers I see have a really targeted, engaged audience, and that's going to be great. So, but what I would say you want to do here is slow down on your posting frequency for a while. Keep nurturing that audience, but just roll it back a little bit and regroup. Do some market research and figure out what your offer is and who you're actually targeting, right? Once you have clarified your offer and who you're targeting, then you got to step back and figure out, okay, what channel am I going to actually find these people on, and what's the best medium by which for me to communicate with them, right? So you may be working on Instagram and having this big audience there, and then find out that, wow, my offer is actually most relevant for LinkedIn. So you want to not beat a dead horse. If the person's not hanging out on Instagram to hire someone for what you're selling, you gotta just accept that and move over to a different channel, right? So you would regroup, define what your offer is, and then who your dream client is, where they're hanging out, and then get strategic about how can I get this person off of social media. So inevitably, if you already have a following, the biggest thing you should be focusing on is getting those people's contact information and getting them off of social media and onto your email list and start building a relationship with them. Okay, so you're a step ahead if you have the audience, but I would definitely step back and start figuring about how can you monetize and how can you convert these people to clients and start building these long-term relationships, which is usually to get them off of social media. Now, if you don't have much of a following, you're actually maybe in luck, because, you're starting from scratch. And so what I would say is, just start with market research. Before even starting to build an audience, build an offer and figure out, okay, what is the transformation that I can, where I can really support someone in their business, right? Define your offer, define your ideal client, and then decide what channel they're at. And then is when you would start working on your content creation and engagement and audience building, right? So you would then start creating content that is uber targeted to solving their pain points. And the purpose for you going on social media and building that audience is really to help the people that you can serve the most. So you don't, you're lucky because you don't have to waste a lot of time playing the popularity game, which I have done, and I've seen many, many people do it. And I think so it happens, but it's sad because social media represents a real opportunity for us to really transform lives and really help other people and help them start new beginnings and just have these remarkable experiences, So this is a true privilege and honor for us to have this ability to communicate in the way that we do. And so the fact that it's so easy to fall into the popularity contest, is kind of sad, but it's okay. We all do it. It's human nature. It's fine. But I just want to encourage you to figure out what your transformation is, what's your offer, And then start working to get building those audience and getting those people off of social media. Okay. And so I want to encourage you to show up tomorrow, same time, same place at 10 a.m. Eastern time for another go live. And you're really, really going to want to catch this one because we are going to be talking about product validation and validating your ideas before bringing them in, putting them into action. So I'm specifically going to hone in on why that t-shirt business idea could actually represent $100,000 loss for your business. So that'll be an important topic. It's tomorrow, Thursday at 10 a.m. See you then.